This is immigration attorney Parviz Malakouti, and in this video I want to go over 3 quick tips for getting your medical examination pursuant to a green card by adjustment of status process. Now remember, adjustment of status is applying for a green card from within the United States and staying within the United States. We're not talking about consular processing, which is a different process that also requires a medical examination, but the rules around that are a little bit different. So here we're talking about adjustment of status. So first of all, backing up, anybody applying for a green card from within the United States for adjustment of status needs to get a medical examination. The medical examination is filled out on the form I-693, which is a form provided by USCIS. The medical doctor that gives the examination fills out the form and actually signs it as well. So my first tip is around when to get the medical examination. So one issue that I see all the time with people that come to me as clients is that before they came to me, they went ahead and got a medical examination. They thought the earlier the better. And then we start putting together their application. And by the time we're ready to submit their adjustment of status application, more than 60 days has elapsed since they got the medical examination. Unfortunately, that's going to make the signature on the old medical examination no longer good. Okay, so what I recommend always is when you're applying for adjustment of status, for my clients, I either have them get the medical examination as the very last step once we're about to submit the application, or secondly, we just submit the application, the adjustment of status application, without the medical examination, have the client get the medical examination, and then we can submit it in response to a request for evidence if we're requested it, or add an interview if there's an adjustment of status interview. So my first tip is make sure that you get the medical examination either as the very last thing you need when you're ready to submit the adjustment of status application, or get it after the adjustment of status application has been submitted and is pending. The second tip that I have is regarding the copy, okay? When you go to a doctor to get the I-693, you need to also get a copy of that for your own records. Why do you also need to get a copy? That's because the I-693 that's given to you, the medical report, is sealed. It's in a sealed envelope and it cannot be opened. It has to be handed to USCIS also with the seal intact, okay? So that means you can't go into that report and look and see what the results were. So you wanna make sure that you also ask for a copy from the medical provider that's providing the I-693. That's my second tip. The third tip is a simple one, but it's equally important, which is that once you get that I-693 in the sealed envelope, you wanna go ahead and put that into another envelope to add one more layer of protection so that the seal does not get compromised and that the envelope does not get ripped. If the seal gets compromised or the envelope gets ripped, unfortunately, that medical report is not going to be good for USCIS anymore. So you want to go ahead and put that in one other envelope as well, so that there's one more layer of protection from the outside world. So that's it for my 3 tips. If you have a situation that you want to discuss, or if you want to talk about possibly being represented in your case, go ahead and click on the link below to book a paid consultation. We can get into your situation one-on-one, go through all the details, and see if there's something that our office can help you with. That's it. Good luck.